Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you the A301 90-degree bracket. Let's take a look. So once again, we've got the QR code on the outside. If you're on site, unsure how to install anything, scan the QR code and it'll take you to a video like this. We've got 10 of these brackets inside. And this bracket is used as a 90 bracket for doing any kind of connections together and also for our joist to beam connection. So what makes this any different from the A201 bracket? So we have this bracket here, and what's the difference between this bracket and the A301 bracket? I've got two profiles here. This is the A110 and this is the A120, A110, A120. So you can notice that they've got different designs to the channels. So the A120 profile, being this one, uses the A201 bracket because it has the shape that goes into those channels. However, if we look at the A110 profile, this profile is used for ultra low height structures. So this bracket is too large, it's too tall to be used with this profile because we're trying to get the lowest height possible to build a structure. So this is where the A301 bracket comes into it, and you can see just how slimline this bracket is. So it fits perfectly within these channels here. Let's take a look at how you actually install these. I've got a profile here with two brackets screwed off. So you can see, well, they're not screwed off, but this is the location of them. Now I've got my other profile here of what I want to attach it to. And you can see how now I can just push this into here like so, and those brackets are nice and flush into that channel. Let's take a closer look at how we use this A301 bracket to use it as a joist anchor, which is you take a joist and you've got your beam underneath, and how we create a really strong connection there that doesn't allow your frame to rack like this. So we've got this detail here, we've got a 90-degree connection, we use exactly the same brackets. So if I pull this apart, let's say that we've got a joist that's coming onto this beam here. I take my bracket, you can see how it's got a little kink in it there, and that is to go over the lip of the channel of the outside profile. And so I need to put two screws in here, and the reason why we put two screws in there is because it stops the bracket from racking, from moving left and right. So two screws in there, one screw in there, and that's a strong connection for ultra low height deck structures. Let's talk screws. This is the A401 screw. It's our most common screw. It comes in a box of 50 and it's included with all the Qwickbuild frame components in the box. So you get 20% extra screws, and you don't have to calculate these individually. It's already included with the components that you're purchasing. So it is a self-drilling screw. It is a 5/8 length for those of you that are using standard measurements, and a 16mm for those using metric. It's a 304 stainless steel screw with an electrophoresis coating, which means it takes it up to about a 316 in terms of its corrosion resistance. Now the head of the screw is a 3/8 hex head, and that just happens to fit perfectly in with the 3/8 driver that we provide. It's a one-handed operation, so you can use this and just drill it straight into the bracket. The other attributes around it is that it actually has a self-drilling tip on it, which means that you've got no pre-drilling required. The other attribute is that it's got a rubber shoulder washer, which is actually soft. Not that soft, but you can see my fingernail digging into it. But what that means is that it acts as a shoulder washer. It isolates the screw from the bracket, but it beds the screw really nicely into the profile when you're screwing it in. So that is the A401 self-drilling screw that comes with all the components. So in summary, you don't need to worry about how to calculate how many screws or brackets or components you need. The deck planner will calculate it for you.